I'm glad you clicked on this video, because if you did, you're probably unemployed or looking for a job and you need some help. Well, I'm excited. I'm here to help you. So buckle up and let's get into it. The job market is pretty bad. We have 4.3% unemployment, an upwards trajectory. We saw that number in May or June of 2007 before the great 2008 crash that we all know about. Stocks are declining just like we saw in 2007, and the private sector is struggling, so things are not looking good. You heard it. It's kind of doom and gloom out there. So I would say the first step for you is to, one, change your attitude. I need you to stop engaging in those chat boards that talk about how hard the job market is. Stop talking to your friends so much about how hard the job market is. I need you to be delusional. Let's drink the Kool-Aid. Let's be delusional together. You are going to get the best job that you've ever had in this terrible market. And you're going to get a job that has growth and a good enough salary to pay for this inflation. So you are going in a right path, a good direction. Having that attitude is going to make the job search easier. Not only is every day going to be easier because your attitude is better, but you'll naturally attract better opportunities because you have a better energy and a better attitude around you. In this kind of job market, companies are going to be more particular on working with people who have good personalities and good attitudes. So prep yourself now, get delusional, you're going to get a great job. The second step I would suggest is to consider what you want in a job, the aspects. If you want remote only, or is seniority really important to you and you're willing to give up money? And that kind of segues on to the third tip I would give you is to assess your background and experience. Assess your skills. Go back in the past 5 years and name 5 to 10 skills that you've used in the past 5 years. And take some time, go look on LinkedIn, Reddit, anything. Go see what people talk about what their skills are. You can see people listing basically their resume on LinkedIn, so you can see what kind of job titles have similar skills to you. Now is the time that you're going to have to consider job titles that you didn't have before. That's what people do in a recession, so get used to it. But knowing how your skills can pivot will make it easier to get more job applications in every day and just give you more opportunity. The third suggestion I would make, I guess this is 4, but in 2008, we saw the highest amount of adult enrollment into college, and that's my suggestion. Now is a great time to consider education. Yes, education costs money, but you can get certifications for a couple $100. You can get discounts as needed, but also it costs money because you're investing in your future. We're going to see a market. We're in a recession and a terrible job market. So as we get out of this job market, you're going to see some old school attitudes towards hiring. People will be a lot more specific on having a computer science degree. People will be a lot more intense about having a master's degree. There will be a lot higher requirements for education and a lot more stringency around those requirements. So now would be a great time to just up your education, and it'll help your job search for the next 5 to 10 years in the future. And I'm sure you've heard everyone say this online, and of course I'm going to say it. Now is the time to tap into your network. And you might say to yourself, I absolutely have no network. I just know my old coworkers and they're working at the same job or something like that. Well, guess what? Everyone's born without a network. You might be lucky to be born with a family, but most people don't have connections unless they're in the elite class. So everyone started at the same place as you. And how do you build a network? Well, you get out of the house and you go meet people. That could be online too. I'll say it. I have gotten the offer for a job proposal. I didn't get a job proposal or a job offer from anyone I've met online, but you can certainly be active in certain chat boards or websites and make these online friends and connections that can give you tips on how to get a job and possibly a referral, which in this kind of job market, referral is the number one way to get hired. So open up your network and meet new people. I want you to open up your phone right now and open up the app store and type up meetup.com. Download the app and search your industry in the app. Go find some events to go to. You might go to the event and talk to no one. That's fine. People are going to see your face. And eventually you show up enough times, people will talk to you. Or maybe you're lucky in the first networking event you go to, you meet someone great. It's scary, I know, talking to strangers and new people is hard, but the question is, what do you want? To be comfortable at home with no money or to be uncomfortable with money? It's a hard choice, but someone has to make it. The next step I suggest is to be more picky with the jobs that you apply. This might be counterintuitive as you're trying the numbers game, right? You're applying to, well, at least when I was looking for a job, my goal was 20 applications a day. So that would add up to 100 a week. And I probably got to a little under 200 before I was in the process for getting a new job. And I would say that I stopped job searching after I started getting interviews to see how they panned out. So I probably only job searched for 2.5 weeks and then got a job in about a month and 1 week. That was 3 months ago when the job market was better. But you do want to get numbers out. That's important. But be more picky about the jobs you're applying to. I'm a recruiter. I'm seeing your resume. And it's amazing to me how few people read job descriptions and they will apply to jobs that they're not qualified for at all. For example, I'm hiring for a data analyst for a construction company. This job has nothing to do with computers or SQL. It's more of a financial job. And I would say about 85% of the applications are data analysts showing off their SQL skills. What a waste of time. Don't waste your time. Please be more picky with the job search. If you're going to apply for a job, you need to think in your head one reason why you can say you are qualified for the job. If you can't, then please just don't apply. If you're applying to these jobs that you're not qualified for, it's really going to hurt your morale as you get rejected over and over. Well, obviously you're going to get rejected. You're not qualified for the role, and there's no specific reason why you are the best fit. That's the other part. In a job market like this, the candidates who get the job have something special about them that makes them better for the job than anyone else. It could be that they have particular experience in that industry. Maybe they know someone at the company. Maybe they have a personality type that's best suited for the team. And you might not know about the personality type for the team, but just think in your head what makes you stand out for that role. If you can think of one reason, please apply. Now is also the job market to put out cover letters. I absolutely hate cover letters, and as a recruiter, I do read most of them. If you're going to do a cover letter in this market, please don't waste any sentences. You do not need to explain to me why you're applying to the job, and you don't need to thank me for the consideration. Just please tell me why you're good for the job, because I'm looking at probably 100 resumes a day for about 5 jobs, which is pretty low, I would say. It's because I have a questionnaire on all those jobs where you have to say specific qualifications like location, degree, other certifications or clearances you need. But if I'm looking through all those resumes and I see a cover letter, I'm going to look at your cover letter and try to read it as quickly as possible. So please just put 2 or 3 sentences as to why you're qualified. I need something that's not already on your resume. If you're saying you're qualified because you were a QA engineer for 3 years, I can see your resume. Maybe go look at the job description and see some of the skill sets required, and then tell me what skill sets that you have. That might be in the qualifications, what you will do part. It says you will do X, Y, and Z. Well, if you've done that specific thing, please tell me in the cover letter. Hiring managers are pretty particular about job descriptions. They put a lot of consideration into it, even though it doesn't look like it. So oftentimes, job descriptions will have requirements that are they're not preferred, they're required. And job applicants will think that they're, preferred and not required. For example, I have a job that you need to have specific experience with a certain company, and that's in the requirements. And I think out of the 250 applicants I have, only about 10 or less have that specific requirement. And of those 10 people with the requirement, I think a lot of them pointed it out to me in a cover letter, so I knew. And the last tip, of course, this is coming from a recruiter, but the last tip is to be as kind, courteous, and conscientious to everyone in the job process as much as possible. If you have a bad experience interviewing with a company, I need you to walk out as the bigger person, be kind, conscientious, and make sure you leave with them having a good attitude with the experience, even if they were the jerk. Now is a time where you're building bridges and leaving a trail of your reputation in the job search. Maybe when the market is really good, you don't have to worry about being nice to recruiters like I saw in 2017, but now I see a lot less attitude towards recruiters because the job market is bad. Well, that's a great idea. Don't be mean to recruiters when the job market is bad. Now is not the time to send any ugly letters or to contest being rejected for a job. That's like a particular pet peeve. If you've been rejected for a job, you can propose the reasons why you shouldn't have been rejected, but there is a chance the reason you were rejected is an HR issue or there was a way better candidate. So I would say if you have 1, 2, maybe 3 reasons why you particularly are best qualified for the role and you got rejected, you can send a follow-up letter to the recruiter explaining why. Maybe if you had the contact number for the hiring manager, you can reach out to the hiring manager with the recruiter CC'd, please, and explain why. But you got to learn when you've lost. Sometimes you got to accept a rejection. In this kind of job market, I'm seeing a lot more people cursing out and yelling at recruiters because they didn't get a job. And if you do that to a recruiter, you will never get a job with that person ever again. That recruiter is going to go to another company that you want to work at, and they're going to know your name, recognize it. Trust me, we do recognize a lot of names. And we are going to know you're a personality issue and not want to hire you to the company. So now's the time to be nice to us recruiters. As I'm being nice to you and giving you all this job advice, I hope you take it and I hope you get a new job. I hope you get the best job that you've ever had with great career growth and a salary that helps you survive this inflation. Thanks for watching this video. If I helped you out, please let me know in the comments. I'm glad to be back on YouTube. I'm sorry that I was gone for so long, but thank you to everyone who missed me and reach out. I'll see you guys in the next video.